Hey there, so an update on last video where I was playing around with this idea of plain bent toroidal flowers. Great discussion came out of it, and there was definitely a pattern that I didn't realize worked in a very similar manner that if I've got it right, this is what Charlie and Ted are calling antispin. I'm still not 100% convinced on it, and I'll show you why. So, when I'm performing this type of flower right here, this is basically like a corkscrew or screw thread going around a torus. For you to crack open the torus and spread it out to being a cylinder, we basically have a couple different 2D perspectives we can take on it. If we look at the side of the cylinder, that is the one where in profile it looks like a circle to us. We see a 2D projection of the movement that the poi does, and what we're going to see is the poi consistently going around in a circle, right? If, on the other hand, we take it out on the side, and it doesn't matter if we're viewing it from the top or from directly on the side, we're going to see the same pattern. It's going to be a 2D projection of what's going to look like a sine wave, right? The reason for this, of course, being that as the poi follows the path of the screw around, it is traversing both along and around the cylinder slash torus at the same time. And when we join it back together, it just looks like a snake that's running its way around, right? Now, unless I'm mistaken, here's the pattern that Charlie and Ted are saying is antispin. And by all means, guys, if I'm misrepresenting this, please let me know. Now, the key to this being that in between two of the petals, there's a downbeat, and in between the other two petals, there's an upbeat, right? It looks very different if we crack open the torus once again. Instead of looking down the side and seeing the poi going around in a circle, instead we're going to see it going around in C's. That is, it's going to keep going back and forth around that circle, but it's never actually going to complete a circle. It's going to reverse itself before it can. Of course, if we look at it from the other angle, it's still going to look like a sine wave, albeit a very long, stretched out one, right? Interesting. So, does this qualify as antispin? I'm still not convinced, and here's why. If we look at a 2D projection of both of these types of flowers, that is the spiral kind, and they don't have a name for this type yet, then both of the flowers I just did, if we looked at them from above, would look like antispin to us in a 2D space. I can also perform both of them in such a way that they look like they're going in spin. It's a lot harder to do this one in spin. It takes a little bit more attention to what you're doing. But once again, I wind up with two shapes which from a 2D perspective look like you can either have your arcs pointed inside towards the person in between each loop, or on the outside pointed away from the person in between each loop. And from a 2D perspective, we would say that both of these types of motion could look like either inspin or antispin, right? So, because of that, I'm still saying that I think this is a new behavior. I don't know what to call it. There was a very humorous suggestion that we refer to it as anti-spoon in the comment section, which I dig. But yeah, I'm still of the belief that this is a behavior that is new in terms of how we look at flowers. And once again, I really hope the discussion continues and people come up with intelligent arguments to tell me why I'm wrong about this. But for the time being, I'm still unconvinced, and I want to see more discussion on it. I'm really enjoying it. So, bring it on. On a more personal note, in 2 weeks, that is on July 28th, I am flying to Africa. I'm going to Nairobi in Kenya. The reason being that there is a Burners Without Borders project called the Moto Circus School that is headquartered in Nairobi. It is a project where they are teaching street children in Nairobi how to do fire spinning, how to do poi spinning. And it's a great activity because it gives them something to do other than running around joining gangs and the like. And also it gives them a means of income as performers. I'm going to be teaching there for a month. I'm going to try and keep posting regularly. We'll see how that works. But here's where I need your help. My plane ticket is taken care of. My living expenses are taken care of. What's not taken care of is equipment for the kids. This is a country where it is pretty much impossible to come across Kevlar. So they've done things like making fire heads out of old jeans or dirty diapers. Pretty much they're dependent on the people who come in and visit to bring them supplies such as Kevlar. So if you go to burnerswithoutborders.org and click on their link for the Moto Fire Dancing Circus School, there's a place where you can donate, and every little dollar you donate helps. Kevlar at this point is only, I think, like $1, maybe $2 a foot, and takes a bare minimum of about 3 feet of Kevlar to make a fire head. So if you've got $5, if you've got $10, please consider donating it. I really hope to be able to show up in Nairobi with a big old roll of brand new Kevlar for those kids. So please take this up as a challenge and go donate. Every dollar that you do becomes a piece of equipment for those kids. And I'm really eager to share this thing that has definitely changed my life and see if it can help change the lives of those kids in Kenya too. So please help me do it. Thank you for watching, and hope this finds you well. Peace.